me see if I can find the thing first. Where? It's right on the end of the
center.
Yeah, I don't know whether I can't see it on the monitor too well, but there's an orange arrow the end of the pier, and Jeff tells me, what did you explain that, Jeff?
When the arrow's pointing as it is right now, downward to 7:30, they're not ready for the ship to enter the lock. There's either water in the gate yet, or the mules aren't ready to be hooked up. And when it's pointing to 9 o'clock, then they're ready for the ship to enter the gate.
Get some bright sunlight, but the gates are just closed behind the tanker that went through in the right locks. Our ship has moved ahead, and we will be following over here pretty quick. Okay, we're going to be coming right around the corner here. You'll see the stern. There, it's coming into view. He's under power. The mules are pulling him into the lock. You can see the mule just climbed up the wall. Well, we're sliding right in here. Gates on each side. Let me see if I can get a function. The gates are, well, with this lens, it's pretty hard to tell. Well, we got lines all the way up to the cleat on each side. And there's the freighter ahead of us. Gene and Jeff are getting a few pointers from Albert, the pilot that's on board. Nobody got hit by monkey fists, so we're all set. Corey is up there taking notes for his composition that he's going to have to write on this whole thing. Turbulence all over the place. The lock is filling. Give you some idea of the surge from the water coming up from the bottom. It'll only take about 5 minutes to fill the locks to the very top. Well, we're almost up. Another few feet. It only takes just a few minutes to fill this lock. It's amazing how fast the water comes in. The turbulence didn't rock us around that much, very little as a matter of fact. And the girls, of course, up forward here are taking, Gene and Jeff are taking in the slack on the lines as it goes slack. here is one of the mules used to keep the ships in the center of the lock. They have cables that stretch over to the stern, the corners of each of the ship's four corners, and those little electric mules pull the ship forward and out of the lock and keep the tension on the line so the ship stays in the center of the lock. The windows up above there is an observation tower here at these locks. Ed Green hopefully is up there somewhere, says he's going to try and get a picture of us as we go out. Okay, gates have opened. The freighter ahead of us has gone ahead into the next stage of the lock. This is a two-stage lock. We go up two different times in this set of locks. So he will move out. We're waiting for him because of the turbulence that his prop creates. We'll let him get well into the other lock and shut down his engine before we move up. The line handlers on the side, let me see if I can get, there they are. He will release the our mooring line from the chock there, and we will haul the line in to the boat, keeping the heaving line attached. He will walk the heaving line up to the next lock so we do not have to catch monkey's fists a second time. Well, this shot looking back at the closed gates, the lock we just came out of. Let me see if I can get a little better focus here. And let me see if I can pan up here and catch Ed Green standing up here taking a picture of us. Fortunately, the sun is okay, here's a close-up shot. The gates are closing. Double set of gates. All right, just about totally closed. Japanese freighter lining the stern here watching us. Try and get a shot up there. Seen quite a few ships from Russia, and you can always tell they have the hammer and sickle on their funnels. Lots of Japanese ships, very few American ships. I guess our shipping laws are too strict to keep them flying American flags. We're about halfway up already in this lock. Here's a close-up shot of the mule. You can see the cable lines going out to the ship, keeping track of the ship. And here's the other mule on the other side. Well, we're underway again. Got one more lock to go before we get into the main cut through Tagatam Lake. We are heading out and moving out. Staying behind this freighter. And we're leaving Ed astern, who's okay, we're up to the second stage of the lock. Mercury is finally snugged up. Tugboat should be backing away here pretty soon. There's a small yacht club here which also does some repair work on yachts that have problems or get bunged up going through the canal. So there's a few of them there, but some of the local people keep their yachts here. Give you a chance to look at some of the very tropical, heavy, lush jungle. There's a railroad between Balboa and Cristobal runs along the shore here. Well, they're moving the Mercury ahead now, so that'll give us a chance. The mules are pulling him forward into the lock. That'll give us a chance to move up behind him. This is the last set of locks before we hit the long stretch through to Gotham Lake. So we'll be moving out, and we'll be getting ahead of this freighter because we get to go in front of them instead of behind them on the way down. Tug has just let go. He's going to back up and pull away here pretty quick. Okay, we're out of the docks. We're on our way to Gotham Lake. Up through the cut here. You can take a close look. We've got some range markers ahead. This is the beginning of the large cut that was made down through the Continental Divide that took all those years to excavate. We're the pilot boat, I guess we're moving the pilot from this freighter. Looks like we're keeping right alongside him. We're off to one side to avoid the backwash of his prop here, which is not too bad over here on this side. But he's moving right along. We're making 6 knots. Chances are he will probably pull ahead of us. The cut makes a turn off to the right here. We've got an 8-mile run up to Gotham Lake. And then it's some 20 miles, I believe, across to the locks on the other side. We'll take some shots of the shore along here, get some idea. There's some maintenance buildings and so on. The foliage is quite lush and green. Well-lighted lights, fluorescent lights all along the shore. That's what those lights are. A little better shot of the stern end of this large Japanese freighter here we've been transiting with. Here's Sean with his tugboat he bought with his allowance at the toy store yesterday in Panama City. It's battery powered, so he's been paying special attention to all the tugboats. Corey, he's sitting over here taking notes on everything that's going on. We're cruising along here at 6 knots.